the things I loved about being at Everton was also, when we played away, we get the speaker in the bus, and then just go sit in the back and just play African songs the whole.
Africa, so we used to play 2Face. You remember? But it's Ali Ali.
You know,
Always when we got closer to the stadium, and then Two-Face would come out.
It's true because we the black guys back then. We just sit at the back. We play the African music, and the good thing, they all love it.
welcome to another episode of Feed the Yak podcast, a place where we look at analysis, entertainment, football, and humor, etc. Today we're joined by one of our African legends, Steven Pienaar, who's South African legend, former Everton player, former Tottenham player, former Borussia Dortmund player. You're welcome, sir. And we also got our legend here, Yakubu and Aiyegbeni. Welcome.
Thank you guys for having me on the show.
Steven Pienaar. Good to see you, bro.
So, Steven, it'd be great for us to just discuss generally about, your years, your early years, how you got into football, how you moved from Ajax and, came to Europe, everything. Just a general, obviously, how you made that journey from A to B and became a professional player, became, one of the legends of Africa. How did that all happen? How did that come to place?
Yeah, it basically started in Johannesburg. I was selected to join a school of excellence, like an academy school, at the age of 12. I joined the school. Everything was all about football. You sleep, you eat football for 5 years. So I did my high school studies at that school. I was one of the best run schools in the country for football. They were just developing football players for fun. And while I was at the school, I got selected for the national team under 17s. And played well. And then I got scouted to go to Amsterdam for a 2-week trial with another player. Unfortunately for me, at the time I went for trials, they had Rafael van der Vaart playing in the same position that I was playing. And then they sent me to Ajax Cape Town, like a referral letter, like there's this player at the School of Excellence, go and have a look at him. And as the year went on, I got an invitation to join Leeds United in the UK. But then Ajax went back to the school and inquire about how am I doing, my performance at the school. And the principal of the school told him, no, he's on his way to the UK. So Ajax was like, no, you have to join Ajax Cape Town for a year and see how his development is going with the club. And then he'll come back again for another week for trials. So eventually I joined Ajax Cape Town to go and play. They signed me for the first team, but the coach didn't know. They had a Dutch coach at the time, Leo van Veen. So you saw me training the first day. I went down after my school exams, my final exams, just to train. But I already signed my professional contract. And I went down and I trained with the guys for the first time. And after the training, went back to the president, like, hey, you have to sign this, boy. You have to sign him right away. And the president told him, like, hey, he signed the contract 3 weeks ago. I just wanted to see if you'll accept him. So that's how it all started. I signed in December as a 16-year-old for the club. And then in January, I played my first professional game under this coach, Leo van Veen. He was a typical Dutch coach. He played also at Ajax. He played with Johan Cruyff, Ruud Krol, all those players back in the days. He's a legend at the, FC Utrecht.
But how do you cope with the physicality of the in football? You know, you're quite little. You know, quite small. In football it's more aggressive and you're quite small. You know, it's so tough back then as well. You know.
For me, it was quite. I developed that quite at a young age with my coach at the school because I was always the smallest amongst the players, and he said to me, "One thing you have to know that you're gonna get kicked a lot, so you have to find ways not to get into that situations." So we had like 5 years to work on something that will help me in my career if I become a professional football player. So how to avoid tackles, how not to get into tackles. So it was a process that we developed. We worked a lot on my first touch, my control away from the defenders or the opposition, not to be stuck with the ball. Then you get into duels, tackles, and stuff like that. So it was something that I learned at a very young age, at the age of 12. And I think if you look now at around the world academies, they don't teach players that kind of things. So yeah, that helped me a lot to know in which positions do I have to position myself on the field, where you look at the defenders, how far you're standing from them. When I receive the ball, am I in the right space? Can I move away from him? So all that stuff they taught me at a young age, at 12, and it stuck with me.
I'm going to ask one question. So, South African is a big footballing nation now. After the, hosting the World Cup and everything. And but one question I'd like to ask is, South Africa is also big in rugby and cricket and all other sports. Was it football from the start for you, or was it just, did you try other sports before you became a footballer?
Yeah, obviously when you go to I grew up just at the end of the apartheid regime. So yeah, at my how can I say, primary school, we had cricket or rugby. There was the two games that we had to choose.
Yeah.
So for me, I was like, yeah, I'll go for rugby because cricket is too boring. So I played a bit of rugby.
But you're not quite physical.
You're not physical.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
It is a physical sport, but it's also a thinking sport. So I was lucky playing as a winger. So you don't get into all those, the fighting stuff. So you just have to receive the ball and start running, run past people. So, and it was, yeah, I enjoyed it. Actually, I played for 2 years, got selected for the local provincial team at the under 13s. But yeah, and then my school teacher, my maths teacher at the time, he was a soccer coach. So he said to me, if you don't sign up for soccer, you're gonna have a hard time in my class. So yeah.
So that's how you made the decision. So the decision was made based on maths.
Yeah, so I had to, because that back in the days they used to, when you were always late or you don't do your homework, you have to come in front of the class and the teacher take out that cane and then you get a lesson. So I was like,
but the kids of nowadays, they don't know anything about those kids.
This is quite interesting. So transitioning from Africa to Germany, how was that whole transition, and how did you manage it? Because different style of play going into the European League. How did you manage it?
yeah, like I said, when I joined the Ajax, I was quite fortunate. I had a few African players in the team at the time. I joined the second team. I went straight to the second team. So I had another Yakubu from Ghana.
I know the Yakubu. I've been watching Highest from so long, and
Another Yakubu from Ghana.
People think he was my brother. Yeah.
We had like three boys from Ghana in the team. One Brazilian, one guy from Venezuela, and one Colombian. So it was a mix of culture, and we were all, in a new country to settle in, and we quite get on quite well as a team, as boys off the field. So like we grew as a team, and then after that, we got a new coach. Koeman came in, and he had to make decisions. He saw this new group of players that's not getting the opportunities to play, and we played against the first team, and he picked a few of us out, and gave us the opportunity to play in the first team, and then since then it just went upwards.
So I think that would lead nicely to the journey into England and into Everton, right? So I think it was right from Boris Johnson to England, and you went into Everton, and that's a different terrain completely where you met another Yakubu. So how did that go?
I was not a lucky guy to be two Yakubus.
You had two Yakubus.
When I remember back then in Everton, when I came into Everton, and you were there already, and I've been watching you for so long in Ajax, and then we just click from day one. You remember?
Yeah,
at the old training ground.
It was all, the Africans always go and look for each other, because our backgrounds are quite similar. So it's just easy to mingle, and you can talk, you can laugh, you can have jokes, You're also in a new environment. So the other players are a bit too stiff to talk to. So then you talk to the people that will understand you,
So this is a very interesting point. So I think for the younger ones watching, how do they acclimatize when they come into a new team? So how do you adapt? So I think from what I'm hearing from you guys, you find the other Africans or find people that had similar kind of culture and assimilate with them. Is that the modus operandi, how you adapt when you come into a new team?
Yeah, I think the most important thing is you get into the dressing room and just you don't have to have a big mouth in the dressing room, but as soon as you go out the field and you show them what you're all about, and then they start respecting you, then they will come over to you, start talking, because they're thinking, oh, this is a new player coming from a different league. He doesn't know, but as soon as you step out and you show them you have aggression, football intelligence, just play, show them that, hey, I deserve to be here, I'm part and parcel of this whole team. And then they'll accept you. And then, soon after a few weeks, then the guys will open up to you, because, you have to get into, it's like you're breaking down the wall that they build around the team. And for you to get in, you have to show something to be accepted.
So, Pienaar, in Dortmund, from Dortmund to England, Everton, did you have any doubt of yourself, coming to the Premier League? The league is quite different, from Premier League, and the German league is quite different. The intensive in the Premier League is quite tough than the German league. Do you have doubts for yourself, like, oh, I don't think I can play in this league, when you move from Dortmund to Everton?
Nah,
Initially.
not at all. Because for me, the step was when I was at Ajax. I was doubting between going to the UK directly to the Premier League, because I had offers before, and then Dortmund came. I was like, the Premier League is a tough league. From where I am at a Dutch league to jump, it's a big jump from the Dutch league to the Premier League. And when Dortmund came, I said straight away, I'm going to Dortmund. Why? Because the level from the Dutch league to the German league is a step up. Physicality, the quality of the players that was playing in the league, the intensity is higher than in Holland. So that was like the breach for me to get to the Premier League. If I can do well in this league physically, then I think I'll make the step easy to the Premier League. That's why I went to Dortmund. That was actually the plan of my whole goal, to get into the Premier League. If I can show it in a tougher league than the Dutch league, I think it will be easier to get into the Premier League. And I follow that path. For me to spend a year there under three managers, it's challenging for a player. You're a new player coming into a team. That they're not really open to accept you, because we had a lot of old German players in the team. There was like really a tight unit, and players coming from Holland with a Dutch coach. You know how that goes. It's kind of tough for the players to get accepted. So but also I was lucky. I had a South African in the team. I had Metro Amoa in the team from Ghana. I had Eddie Smolarek. He played in Holland. Obviously, the coaches were Dutch coaches, so it was, for me to settle in was quite easy because I know the way he wanted to play. And some of the other players accepted us, and then, sometimes you get on with players, but you're there for one thing, and it's to help the team and to win games. If they don't like you, you don't have to talk to them. That was how I went into that club. I was like, I'm here to help the team win. If you don't want to talk to me, we're not friends. Just come to work and I go home. Thank you.
So taking it back to Everton time, I think that's a perfect, climax to go back to Everton time. So people not liking you, people not, accepting you, people having issues with you. You guys the clown in the dressing room. When you guys played in Everton, who were the key people that you felt, oh my God, he's coming again? What were the things that made you guys blend as a team? Someone that that played the music. What was the key things in the dressing room that was key for Everton at that time?
We had a few clowns in the team. To be fair,
it's okay to mention the names. A long time ago,
there was a few clowns in the team, but we had like a good bunch of players in that group. That will fight for each other. But like I said, a lot of clowns. We had.
I think you're one of them. You're one of them.
Yobo.
I was good in organizing parties, but not. I was not a clown.
Okay, going into the parties time now, I'd like to dig a little bit deeper into that. So, okay, maybe I'll take it a notch down. Okay, who was the lazy one in training back then? When you guys were, training, that came late to training, didn't, wasn't pulling his weight, that you felt guys thought, you were tired of.
We will.
When you were all on point, come on, guys.
Yeah. No, I don't think anyone. It's impossible to be lazy when you play under Moyes. So
under Moyes,
you can't be lazy when you play under him because he was just hammering you all the time. Hey, you have to run. You have to pull up your socks. I don't care who you are. You have to run. As long as you do the job for him, you're good.
I don't know if you remember. When I just signed from Everton, we did some rondo. We finished rondo game, then we have to run. That was my first session. And I said to you guys, like, rondo is supposed to be fun, you understand? It was so intensive. Everyone was so serious. They don't smile. They were like, when you lose the ball, you'll be inside for another 10 minutes. If you remember, then we have to do some running.
Yeah.
This
was all under David Moyes, right?
I still remember, if you remember back then, at the old training ground, For me, I'll be going, they will be coming, I was like, in Boro, we never roll like this. You remember? I was like, this is military training.
No, but the training.
In Boro and Portsmouth, we never roll like this. It was tough.
Training was tough. It was tough.
So okay. So what I'm hearing now in Everton, that was the height of training.
Oh.
Can you compare it to anywhere else you guys ever played that in terms of the toughness of David Moyes in training? Were there any other place that can be compared to that, or even harder than that?
You remember sometimes we do some running.
It's that Cooper test we were doing around the field.
Did you remember the one at the training ground, Pienaar? You run for 1 minute, you race for 20 seconds. You run till for another 1 minute. What? You remember?
All right.
That was tough.
All right, Pienaar. I also, from doing a little bit of research, I found that you went to Tottenham. What was that about? Going to Tottenham. You had a stint at Tottenham. How was that? And why? How did that all go? What was the story around that?
We have to bring it back.
Bring it back.
Yeah.
No, it was quite simple. We had a long discussion with the club at the time to renew my contract because I had 6 months left on my contract. Okay. I was clear to the manager at the time that listen, I want to stay at the club, but you need my salary have to be on the level of the other players that are staying. And they said, yeah, this is what we offer you. And then I said, okay, fine. It's not all about the money, but I'm one of your most valuable players in the team. So you have to treat me like one of your most valuable players in the team as well. And yeah, we couldn't come to an agreement. And I said, okay, fine. I will go. And then, yeah, when I said I want to go to Tottenham, he said to me, there's no chance you're going to Tottenham. So, so he said, yeah, the only place you're going is Chelsea. So I was like, okay, now you're choosing a team for me as well. To be fair, it wasn't also not a bad club. I spoke with the people at Chelsea, and I spoke to the people at Tottenham. And at the end of the day, I made my decision based on how I felt at the time. And yeah, I chose for Spurs.
So this is, there's a lot of young players that are listening. They're going to watch this stuff and think, how do you make a decision? What made you, apart from, finances, is it the team fit? What are the key things that made you make that decision? Because, there are players right now that they're probably on the bench. They are not in the first team and they just want to, get in. How do they make this choice? How do they make this decision? What are the key things they need to look at for them to say, you know what, I'm going to this team?
First of all, you have to believe in yourself. Like, you making a decision going to a new club, you have to look at it and have a look. Do I have a chance to get into this team? Because believe me, any manager will say to you, "Oh, I'll sign you. You my signing. You're gonna play." That's all a lie. Because as soon as you put pen and paper down, he's got 23 other players that he told maybe the same story. So
you're just warming the bench.
You're just one of those 23 players now. You understand? So for me, it was like you look at a team, you look at all the possibilities. You play, you write the lineups down. You check where can you fit in, where's your opportunities, where will you get game time. You look at the injury list of the club. You look at all those kind of things and what kind of football, because obviously the manager wants to play a certain brand of football. Do you fit into that as well? So I looked at both Chelsea and Tottenham, and they both were kind of similar. It's just at the end, Spurs came and they just offered a little bit more money. So then I went for Spurs.
I'm going to take you back to Tottenham, to Everton now. So, based on time when you were at Everton, was there a particular team that you guys were scared to play against or were worried when it came to, thinking, oh God, we've got this
we're never scared of any team.
Or worried that,
we never worried.
That means anything that you got.
We knew when we had Jack up front and Chief Yobo behind, we good.
Yeah, Chief. I remember when I signed, sometimes I like to come short, to get the ball, You and Mickey, you remember you called me like, Yak, don't worry, just push them back. You remember? You said push the defender back. You have to trust me.
This takes me back to the assist that Yak gave
with
you.
Mickey, you remember?
There was a game that...
you remember back then, you're like... If I don't get it like 2-3 minutes, I just try to come a little bit deep to get it. Mickey and you was like, Yak, don't worry, push them back. Trust me, we'll give you the ball. You have to trust the player, and I trust them. Then
that's true.
That's it.
So there was, I think one of your assists that Yak gave you. I remember both of you. I think
the Ronaldinho pass, you remember?
And both of you kneeling down facing each other, and that was, can you talk us through what happened then, Yak?
For me, when I've been watching Pienaar for so many years in Ajax, so coming to Everton is like I've known him already.
Yeah. For
so long, I watch it. We just click from nowhere. I'm just surprised, the way this guy, he speak pidgin English. I'm shocked. And I asked him, where did you learn this pidgin English from? He said, my guys from Ajax, from Holland. They speak pidgin English. I was like, wow. It was like, from this guy, he's quite smart, but he's quite clever, Yeah. I enjoyed playing with this guy. When he left from Everton to Spurs, it's like something in me. I'm just telling you today. It's like something in me lost a bit.
Oh,
because
wow.
I was so close to you and Julian, on that left hand bench. We were like partners in that left side, When he left, like, I feel it a little bit.
Someone
That's
important
the
left,
first
yeah.
time, when I moved club, someone was so close to me,
So, I was talking about, the dynamics between both of you in terms of, the assists you gave Steven on one of the goals that both of you knelt down and,
It's not all about the assist I give to
Yeah,
Pienaar. It's
yeah.
all about the connection.
Connection.
He understand me and understand Pienaar already.
Yeah.
I think Pienaar is one of those guys, I've played with. And he understand me, I understand him. When I make the run and he will give it to me. We so close off and on
Often on the pitch. Yeah, yeah.
We do things together. He knows already. So, and till now we still
It's too
communicate
close. Yeah.
together. It's special. It's not all about you have football buddies. Pina, you understand? You have football buddies. We're all mates, colleagues. Yeah. We just came to the same job. We just do, then we go. But he's just one of those guys. He's my buddy. Yeah. In football, outside football.
Yeah.
We still communicate. So it's special.
Talking about the, players leaving that you were talking about, when someone leaves and the effect on the players, because that communication, that football body is not there anymore. How do you guys, I think for both of you, how do you guys cope in that instance? Because you've got this player that understands you, that knows you're going to move right, you're going to back off the player, you're going to move to the left, move to the right, that understands you. How do you cope with a new player being brought in? How do you manage? Because it take a while for you guys to adapt, right?
It take a while, If you remember, Fellaini, when Feli came to the club,
Yes.
He can't even speak English. We don't understand, It was quite difficult for me to communicate with him. But in football language, when you make runs, he will give it to you. But sometimes it's quite difficult when you try to say, put it there, I'm here, you don't understand. Pina, do you understand? Yeah. Sometimes you understand, sometimes you don't understand. In football language, you understand, but communication is not there. It's different.
It's different.
It takes time for them to adjust to the system. Then when they understand the language and they speak the language,
so this takes me into communication is key that you guys are talking about. So one of the guys you guys played with was Mikel Arteta, who is the current manager of Arsenal, and I'd like to take your insights on it. You played him as a player, you understand him. I think he gave you an assist against Burnley, Steven, if I remember correctly, and you guys understand each other. So what are your thoughts on him? Being from, did you guys have any kind of view that this guy might become a manager then, or when you saw him become a manager, like, yeah, I knew this guy would become a manager. What was your take on him generally? Steven, I'll go with you first, then obviously Yad can feed in as well.
No, you could see on the field, he was always like, when we were playing, me and him always trying to coach the guys in front of us, Yakubu and Fellaini and Cahill, how they have to position themselves. That communication, you could see it on the field that, he's definitely going to get into coaching, because he had it. And also the way he wants to play football was also, you could see it all there. And, with it playing with guards, with that little Spanish fire in his belly. So, yeah, he had it, and he was always talking on the field, a lot of coaching, taking a lot of responsibilities, pushing the players. Yeah, and I also had, like I said, when I first joined Everton, the first time I flew out to LA to meet the team, and he was the first one that came to me and said, "Oh, what are you doing tonight? Let's go out for dinner." Off the field was the most important thing. You get a connection with a person, then you start bonding, and then you become friends. Away from the game. So when you're on the field, this guy expects this from me, and I expect this from him. The respect become mutual, and then you start working towards one goal, that we want to help the team and we want to develop as players. And you could see, with his background, where he came from, to be humble and still want to improve the other players as well. So that side of him, I saw it quite early.
Mickey is quite clever, You said it already because you guys, you play behind us, We always listen to you guys. You like go to the left side or go to the right side or come to get the ball, It's quite clever with Mickey. And when you play with clever players, they'll make you become a better players. And for me, coming to Everton with Steven Pienaar and these guys, they make me, feel like home already, because they make me. I just came now, It's like I've been there for like 3 years, 4 years, because it's special. They accept me already. We do things outside football, inside football. I went to Joseph Yobo's house for dinner, and I went with Peanut for dinner with the boys and Aiyegbeni, as well. He's quite young then, It's like it was like 17, 16 there.
17, yeah.
17, he just big, we
was a very big 17-year-old. It's all the soup he was eating.
Yeah, in Nigeria we call him a Greek fowl, just big. He is,
was big.
Let me tell you one funny story, At the national team, he was invited to the national team. We call him Village. We call him Village. Alicia, we call him Village because no pidgin English or he don't understand nothing. So at the national team, Daniel Mokachi and late Shaibu Amodu, they call him Village. We were training, it was like, no, nobody call me Village. It's only Yak and Joseph Yobo call me Village. So he went straight to Amodu Shaibu and Mokachi. He was like, nobody. So nobody call me Village. It's only Yak and Joseph Yobo call me Village. This place is Yak and Yobo. Now, club side is Yak and Steven Pienaar coming Village. The coach stopped straight away. Start calling Victor and Victor. We know with English mentality, you understand? You're like, nobody, Village. Come on, what's going on? You're like, no. They don't know where this village is coming from. That guy. I was shocked, Training in Abuja, I remember in Abuja, I said, nobody call me Village. They have to stop Village. They start to call him Vito.
No.
Yeah, it was crazy. He's a
No,
good guy.
okay. Moving on from Village into...
But I don't understand. Where did you understand this pidgin English?
I was going to go to that.
Bro, seriously, how? You understand to speak pidgin English?
Yeah, it's difficult to say how. Now, I actually I had this interest of learning languages at a young age. So I speak 6 South African languages.
Whoa! Wow.
So when I was in Amsterdam,
Just out of curiosity, what 6 other South African language? Just I'd like to know. Just 6. No, I can speak any, but go on.
Xhosa, Afrikaans, English. So yeah, we have 11 languages. So I speak 6. My mom speaks about 4 or 5. So yeah, I took an interest in that. So, and then when I moved to Amsterdam, you're bored, nothing on TV. So I tried to do Spanish. Yeah, I couldn't continue it. And then I thought, okay, what can I learn? Something new, a new language. And then I decided to buy a lot of Nigerian movies, the DVD players.
The series, yeah.
Nollywood. It's called Nollywood.
So I watch Sam Loco and then plenty times all
Peter,
the Ibu, so all different kinds
Mr. Hebrew. This guy called Unkwa.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you that. Who's your favorite Nollywood actor then, since you had a lot of time?
I'll say Sam Loco was my favorite, and also
Sam Loco.
Sam Loco.
Oh, wow.
Pienaar, do you remember the celebration I do this?
yeah, it's very. No, but
You have to tell them about the celebration.
Yes, please. Where did that come from? Where did this come from?
no, from I saw it from one pigeon, from one movie also. So I said, I'm sure you have
Mr. Ukwa.
yeah.
Yeah, Ukwa, yeah. I remember he said, "Oh, when I score, I have to do this."
No, but
So so that's it.
so that's how I learned, like to speak pidgin, and also I have a lot of friends in Ghana, in Amsterdam. They're from Ghana and Nigeria. So when you speak to them, sometimes they're a bit surprised. They're like,
So
I don't understand.
I'm going to test your pigeon tonight. So wait till you chop now.
I don't chop anything tonight.
You know what? I'm going to round it up nicely by going over to our AFCON, African Nations Cup, and just to get some feedback from both of you. And I know where you both lean, but what team do you think would be the winner at the end of the
He
day?
knows already now. It's the Super Eagles.
Who would win the Nations Cup, African Nations Cup?
The Super Eagles.
I'll go for Morocco. I hope South Africa do well. But with all the problems that they have at the moment, how to in the preparations leading up to the tournament, they've got a good coach, but I don't just see them going all the way and win it. But I hope they go past the group stages. But my money is on Morocco, my second country, adopted country.
There's a player from Berlin also, and he chose not to go to the African Cup.
Lily Foster.
Yeah.
He actually went, so he's there.
Oh, is he there?
Yeah.
Because I was watching it, was it 2 days ago? They're like, oh, he's not going. He chose not to go. I was like,
yeah, I saw you
represent your country.
training. So, but
He's
yeah,
training.
they have quite a lot of local players in the squad. So yeah, that's what the coach goes for. So
okay. So Yak, who's going to win?
He knows already it's the Super Eagles.
Yeah, I doubt it.
Pienaar, come on. We have Osimhen there. We have Boniface.
Yeah, but you have them
striker.
also in a World Cup qualifiers. It's not going so well. So I don't know where they're getting the wins from. So you need to win games to go through to the stage. The draws are not getting you. The draws are not going to get you anything, eh?
Yeah, I still believe we got those players, can take us to the next step to win the AFCON. So I believe we can do it.
Apart from Lil Foster, any South African players that you feel might just shine in the African Nations Cups that stands out for you?
I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't even look who's in the squad. I didn't look. Because they're only playing on Wednesday. So tomorrow I might have a look who's in the squad, who's not. But I know they have one player that I admire, Tembazwane. He's a good player. A bit old, but he's really good in the midfield. He plays a bit like Dr. Kumalo. So he's got that flair, the vision, the passing, on the ball, really good, and he have an eye for goal. So for me, he's like one of the key players. And also, if Percy Tau is going to be alive in the tournament, because he's one of those players. He can be hot one day and then you don't see him for 5 games. So, it's...
Yeah, true.
So, and it depends how the coach wants to play. If he's going to play discipline, playing a counter, then I think they have a chance.
So at this point, are you planning to come to move to England to coach, or you still want to live in Dubai or Amsterdam? What's your plan
No,
for the
my plans
future?
is I actually moved out here to settle in with the family for the kids, for the safety of the children, and to see if anything comes up here. If I can get a job opportunity here, then I'll take it. But it's also good. You in a new country, you learn different cultures, different mentality, the way they play football here. So it's also a good opportunity because I'm developing as a young coach how to work in a totally different environment compared to the UK or in the Dutch league. So yeah, you're learning. But yeah, so far it's been the first 4 months been great. The boys are adapting to what I want to do. So yeah, we'll see how the season ends, and hopefully at the end of the season I can go to the club and say, listen, I promoted your under 15 team to the next level, so you can take them on. But yeah, like I said, it's all about gaining experience in a different country, learning different cultures, and yeah, putting your name out there for people to see, and also the kind of job that you're doing with that age group. So, but my aim is to go obviously coach higher. But like I said, I've always mentioned it in a lot of interviews. People tend to ask me, why do you start with youth? In the youth, you have your pro licenses and all that. I said, yeah, that's the platform where I can develop myself, where I can figure things out. I can make mistakes. Whereas as soon as I go to a first team job or professional team, you don't have the time to develop. You need to put results down. And now I'm developing different kinds of things, where as soon as I get a job, I know, okay, A, B, C, D. I've gone through it already. I've experienced this process. I know what I have to do when I'm in this situation, what kind of players I have, this kind of players I have. I don't need to play this kind of football. It's things that you learn while you're developing as well, and you take it with to to man football. So yeah, it's a good learning experience for me. And like I said, it's a different culture. You learn that also. A lot of coaches talk about how you managing the players. This country as well. Half of the team don't speak English, so how do you communicate with them? It's all that comes in. It's not. People think, you're just doing this for the money, or you're doing that. But yeah, you have to organize so many things. You have to organize with the buses to be on time, because if one bus is not on time, no one comes to training. You stand, you wait in training, you
So
make plenty.
you know what, you know what, Steven? Going back to Yak, Yak has Yak FC, and I'm sure Yak experiences the same kind of thing coaching youth.
No, me, I'm not coaching. He's the one coaching.
In terms of
you see young
your
players.
young players.
Their mentality is quite different from back then when we used to play. Already, we're quite more tougher than these guys. Like I remember back then in Everton as well. When David Moyes. Then at end of first half, at the dressing room, then you start to, like you're this, you're this. I don't want to mention the word, you know what I mean back then, Then you see Joe was like, no, 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 you have to show me, let me see. It's not my mistake, back then, we go onto the coach, like if you said, it's my fault, it's my fault, But these young boys, you have to put your hand around them, to like calm them down, Back then we used to like we fight in the dressing room, even Phil Nevers and Jax and all those guys back then, Tim Howard, We all leaders. We fight, we disagree, we come together, It's all about we want to win. When we lose game, we're upset. And again, tell me, who was the best South African player of all time to you?
The best South African player of all time. For me personally, it's a tough one. Yeah, you had the late John Shoes Michel. He was a very good player. Dr. Kumalo was a good player, but my favorite player was Adekoloye. He didn't get recognized a lot for the national team. He played a few games. But he was my favorite player growing up. So for me, he was definitely.
What about the other? What about the legend from Leeds United, Radebe?
Yeah, Lucas. Obviously, Lucas is an idol for a lot of players, a lot of kids, because he played in the Premier League. Everyone looked up to him. But if I'm just talking like pure on talent, someone that you want to go to the stadium. Back in the days when I was growing up, it was Adekoloye. He played for Orlando Pirates, similar like Dr. Kumalo. If these like Kaiser Chiefs played against Orlando Pirates, and those two players in the game, it's entertainment because this one wants to show this one, look what I'm doing, and the other one will show, look, I'm also doing better than you. It was entertainment at the highest level, and I think he was just unfortunately that his generation was
your best time in club level. Your best time. What club did you enjoy most when you used to play?
I'll say best time. Yeah, I had great time at Ajax. Obviously, winning the league twice, the Super Cup twice, the Cup twice. That was the best time in my football career as a player, and I was also still young. But where I matured more was at Everton, and I think that's why I also stayed the longest at the club. Because of the people, the club, the players.
Yeah, the people's club. Yeah.
We had a good set of players in the dressing room, and the supporters were also unbelievable. And I don't know, a lot of foreigners will say, "Yeah, we don't like living in Liverpool," but Liverpool was quite good.
Liverpool was quite good, We had we had a great time, So Liverpool was special, Me and you and the village. Chief never, he's always busy. He never go out with you guys, He's always like, no.
You manage to live in Liverpool, you don't understand the people. I said, listen, man, I'm also Scouser, so.
But Peter, you remember the funny part? I remember when I just signed. When David Moyes used to speak. I would say to Joe Yobo, I was like, Yobo, I will speak broken on this one. I was like, Yobo, wait till they talk. I don't understand what he did. You understand? He take me time to understand David Moyes. Like, Chief, wait till they talk. Chief will translate to me. I think you find it the same, when you just sign, There were sometimes when you speak, you just do like, yeah, but sometimes you don't understand.
The things I loved about being at Everton was also, when we played away, we get the speaker in the bus, and then just go sit in the back and just play African songs. The whole
African song. We used to play 2face's. You remember? But it's Ali.
Always when we got closer to the stadium, and then 2face will come out.
It's true. We the black guys back then. We just sit at the back. We play the African music, and the good thing, they all love it.
Yeah.
They start to play the music. Like, put this music. Put this one. It was nice. We had a great time.
I'm going to try and round it up now because I don't want it to end. I want to carry on and talk about more and dig a bit deeper. But, just conscious of time and conscious of your time as well, where you are. And, I'll ask one question. The hairstyle you had back then, just to round it up, do you think that hairstyle will ever come back? No, you had that hairstyle that went all the way back and...
He say it's not great anymore like that anymore. So
I'll tell you the secret about it. I had it in Holland, and I got injured. And the guy told me, like, the doctors at the time, like, "Oh, you're never gonna play football again. Blah blah blah. Your career is over because it damaged one of my nerves in my foot." So they say, "Yeah, you're never gonna play again." I was like, "Nah, we'll see." I was depressed for about a few months. I said, I'll come back, and when I come back, I'm gonna shave my hair off. So after 6-7 months, my first game back, I scored, and then I told the guy, "You see, I'm gonna shave my hair off." So I shaved after I scored against Rode JC. I shaved my hair off, and we went on to win the league. So and then I shaved it off, and then I was like, "Oh, I'm so happy we won the league and I can play again." But then I said, "No, I have to grow my hair back." But the reason why I cut it also was because I was in Liverpool, and I called my the lady that does my hair normally. I called up like, "Hey, are you free today?" "No, I'm full." I said, "Yeah, but always when I call, I have to come even if you have a client. You make space for me." "Yeah, can you come later?" And then I was with my daughter. Now she's 10 at the time. Now she's 13. She said to me, "Daddy, you know what? You have 3 girls. Please start acting like a father. Just shave your hair off." So I was just thinking. I was looking at like, what did you say to me? I was just shaving. I was behave like my age actually. That's in a nice way. She told me, "You're a father now. Come on, you have to look like a father." When I walk with you, it's like I'm walking with one of my friends or my brothers. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna shave it. That's it. She told me to do it, and I just shaved everything off. And everyone was like, "Why did you cut your hair off?" I'm like, yeah, you guys wouldn't understand. I got a message from home.
You know what, Steven? I think the fact that you're still lucky you've got hair. Some people don't have hair.
Not like me, you know.
So you know what?
You're lucky.
You're still lucky.
Not like we guys no hair no more, you know. So what can we do?
Yeah, I thought, I'll do it for my daughters, you know. So
Yeah.
And I told them also. I said, "Listen, I'm gonna cut it off. But you guys, when I get older, you also have to take care of me." So.
Great. So,
they have to look after you.
You know what?
True.
I think it's a good time to just round it up. And,
Pienaar, you know what? Pienaar, thank you so much, you know. And I appreciate you. You're my brother, you know. My main brother, from different mother, different father, and I thank you so much. You know, thank you so much. We'll speak later as well. You know,
Okay.
You know, he's my guy.
Yeah. So, our guy, thank you very much, and I'll speak in pidgin.
Thank you. We'll speak later, Rabi.
Yes.
Yeah, no shaking. You go.
No shaking. No shaking. Go ahead, brother. Thank bros. Say bye to the family, eh?
And for all our viewers that's watching the Feed the Academy Score podcast, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you very much. Thank you for a great episode, Mr. Steven. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Pienaar. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.